that is something to keep in mind. A pearl necklace. Also, if you want to attract a man, wear red nail polish.
I love your nails.
Red nail polish apparently reminds men of their mothers.
Ah.
So we can unpack that in a different show. The red nail theory is that men are attracted to women who remind them of their mother. That is something you said to me when we first met.
Your personality, for sure.
Yes, yeah.
Blonde, blue eyes.
Because when I met him, he's like, my mother looks like you. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. And I was like, what?
And when we would go travel together, they
thought,
the people at the hotel.
People at the hotel thought that Mark's mom was my mom, and that Mark's dad was his dad, and that we had somehow hooked our parents up. And we were like, no, they're both his parents. Don't make this creepier than it
Because
is.
we really did early on, even before we were married, I called your parents
Mom and dad.
Mom and dad.
Yeah, we always call our parents mom and dad. So we call each other's parents mom and dad. So now, like, we're always like mom and dad, like C or mom and dad R, just so we know like which mom and dad we're referring to. But we've always called each other's parents mom and dad.
Yeah.
Which confused our kids when they were little, because I remember one day, I can't remember which kid came home from school, and they were like, how can you and dad be married if you're brother and sister? And I was like, what are you talking about?
What are they teaching you in that school? So I have to be careful if I one day buy you a pearl necklace, right? You're gonna start thinking.
Recognize it against.
But yes, you're gonna.
Yeah.
Hey,
On 4th of July, you're going to be immediately unattractive.
4th of July travel surge is expected as TSA announces record-breaking screening for the past weekend. I believe it. We were
in the thick of it.
Yeah, there was a lot. An agent screened nearly 3.1 million travelers this past Sunday, marking the busiest day in the nation's TSA history. Wow.
When we went to immigration at JFK,
yes,
and I was standing in that line with you guys, and I'm standing in the line, and then I looked over and I go, I have global entry.
Yeah,
And I went under the thing, and then I walked up and I was like, boop, and I was like, great. And then I walked past, and the guy goes, do you have anything to declare? I go, I declare that vacation was not long enough. And then I walked past.
Yeah, the guy asked me, he was very nice, the customs agent was very nice. He goes, do you have anything to declare? And I always feel nervous. I'm like, did I buy anything? And so I'm like, no. Just like that. And he goes, you sure? I said, yes.
Why do you do that? You always do that because
I'm an honest person. I don't want to, because I forgot.
But you never buy anything on vacation.
No, never.
It was like a source, like when we first got married, I was like, we should go buy souvenirs to take home to everybody. And he goes,
why?
No, we don't. And I go, yeah, no, people like souvenirs from where we've been.
I didn't.
No, they don't. And I go, yeah, no, they do. They do. It's a thing.
Really?
He refuses.
Shirley gives you a lot of souvenirs.
Yes, and I feel bad every time I don't bring you home a souvenir, but you have to understand, I am married to a person that won't allow me to buy
I get annoyed.
He does. He gets super annoyed.
Yeah.
Super annoyed.
What is all this stuff?
When you first came home from Campo Basso,
yes,
the first trip, and you brought me home the hotel jellies, I was like, he goes, I brought you a present.
No, I brought you a little dish.
You brought me home
I brought you a little dish that says Campo Basso. I look for your rings in your little catch-all, which is now in my office, by the way.
I know. He brought me home hotel jellies. You know the jellies that they give you at the hotel?
No, I went to the Campo Basso souvenir shop, the tourism shop, and I got you some local
artisan from the hotel.
Jellies.
I am tired of this narrative that you went somewhere.
Why would I make that up?
Because they're clearly from the hotel.
They're not. The hotel doesn't supply those. There's like an artisan Campo Basso store that I got you stuff. I know, but you like jellies. But you like jelly.
You went to Italy without me about me.
It's something you consume and then you throw away. It's not just sitting there. Chili.
Janelle James drops today.
She's great.
She is incredible.
She's great.
And I was talking to Shirley backstage because you were listening to the current podcast that dropped while we were on vacation, which is with my daughter, Lola Consuelos. And Lola was our most requested guest on the podcast.
I get why.
I get why too, but the boys were like incensed. They were like, Lola, what's so interesting about Lola? And I was like, people find her interesting. But she is, I can honestly say, the person that made me laugh the most during any podcast we've ever had, because she says things that are so off the wall. So if you're looking to download an episode of a podcast that will truly make you laugh, let me recommend last week's episode featuring Lola Consuelos and this week's episode featuring Janelle James. Two of the funniest episodes I've ever. Like, I just am surrounded. I'm fortunate to be surrounded by funny guys.
Yeah, you are.
I am.
There's some funny guys.
I know a lot of funny guys, but the women in my life are the funniest people I know, and I feel so fortunate because if you have friends that make you laugh every day, you've hit the jackpot.
That's right.
Period.
That's right. Oh, big show today.
Jesse Palmer is here.
And our dear friend Maria Menounos is here.
And our 4th of July week continues when Mark and I and the staff compete for bragging rights in a 4th of July game. And let me tell you something. If my team doesn't win, there will be blood. I say this because Showlace is on my team and she screwed it up for us during Christmas.
She kind of did.
Yeah, you're coming back strong.
I have a good team. I have a really good team.
I have a really good team.
Should we wager something?
Yeah, what do you want to bet? Pearl necklace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up? No, I'm just gonna leave that one alone and we're just gonna keep moving on. But the answer is yes.
Okay, once again, another month has come and gone. And it's time to see how Mark did in June when we announced his monthly and career averages.
I should be concerned about this one. A little concerned. June was not a good month.
Dim the lights, please. Your June average is 476.
Ooh, bad. Bad. What's my career average?
Your May average was 590.
Ooh. Yeah, I was 590 in May. Wow,
Really
I
fell
was 600. I was
off
bad
the
at
cliff.
600.
Okay, so your career average has dropped from a .556 to a 552.
Okay. How am I doing in July so far? I won, that's right? Okay.
Just for those of you who have never seen this show before, and I see some young people here, this is a talk show. It's the greatest talk show of all time. It's indisputable at this point. And we play a game here, and we're going to play it right now. And these are the averages based on that game. I just feel like I need to tell the young people because they're like, what is he a baseball player? He's not a baseball player. All right, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to play.
Hi, friends. Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Good morning, Peter.
How are you guys doing? I'm just getting ready.
Good morning, Mark. Good morning.
Getting ready to go to the base in Lemoore. Watching Kelly and Mark. Who watches Kelly and Mark? I gotta finish getting ready, put my makeup on and
Have
everything.
you played this game with us before?
What are you guys doing today?
Not sure.
Okay, he's starting off.
I just got my
Katie,
drink at
I like it.
All
Starbucks.
right, well, the
What's your
game is
favorite
you give
drink?
us two
Mine is
statements, one's
strawberry
true,
acai
one's false.
lemonade.
I have 60 seconds to decide which
So
is
good.
the truth, and if you stump
And I
me,
get like
you
5
win
scoops
this.
of strawberries. But now they charge so much.
Here's two statements. I once met Ginger Rogers, or I once met Alan Thicke. Wow. Okay. Tell us about your meeting with Ginger Rogers.
Okay, so it was obviously quite a while ago. I was traveling, I had a layover. I think in the desert, and this meeting along with this sort of people were kind of fawning over. I had no idea who she was, so I walked over and asked who she was, and she told me she was Ginger Rogers.
How many years ago was this?
I'm not. It was in the 90s, early 90s, I guess.
Early 90s. Okay, and tell us about your meeting with Alan Thicke.
Okay, so I competed in the National Rugby Championships, and it was a whole produced TV show, and he was the host. I placed second in the nation in that show, so I spent a lot of the time on Africa, and I just had the opportunity to talk to him in between breaks and things like that.
You said aerobics competition?
Yeah, the National Rugby Championships.
Wow.
That's why you look familiar to me. No, but I watch a lot of aerobic championship videos. And I'm obsessed.
All right. Well, I'm going to say you once met Alan Thicke.
That is not correct.
Do you compete in aerobics competitions? Did you?
Yes, I did. I did. I placed second in the nation twice.
Yeah.
And are you sure Alan Thicke wasn't there?
May I take your medicine?
I just never had the opportunity to interact with him. He hosted it, but he was very hands-off.
Oh,
He was very hands-off.
all right.
Oh.
Well, maybe he only talks to the first place winners.
Well, you know who's the first place winner here today? Peter Dillon.
You won the mug, you won the t-shirt, Peter. Now let's see if we can win you a valuable trip. It's time for Summer Splash Travel Trivia.
Yep, that's Gary Sweary from Upland, California. Gary, I love interpretive dance. It was amazing. Incredible.
Thank you very much.
Incredible. Deja, let's spin that wheel to see what else Peter's playing for. All right. All right, Peter, playing for a trip for two to the Miranda in Antigua. 7 days, 6 nights in a waterfront suite. It's all inclusive. It's a prize valued at $8,300. You have 20 seconds and only one guess. Good luck.
All right, Peter, here we go. On yesterday's show, we talked with Liza Colon Zayas. On what television series did Liza say she had her first television appearance?
I think it was New York NYC Undercover.
Congratulations.
Maybe
Your
not.
guest will enjoy 7
Is
days
it off?
at the Miranda Antigua. This all-inclusive adult-only resort features a variety of restaurants and bars, non-snack beaches, water sports or pools, and enjoy pure relaxation. Your prize is valued at approximately $8,300. Peter, congratulations, triple winner.
Thank you so much. That's amazing.
All right, now you get to make the day of a lucky member of our studio audience who will receive a Typher Dome 2 air fryer valued at approximately $500. So please pick a number between 1 and 137.
I will say 113.
rheumatoid plaque psoriasis, my skin was no longer mine.
My active psoriatic arthritis joint symptoms held me back.
Don't let symptoms define you. Emerge as you with clearer skin. With Tremfya, most people saw 100% clear skin that stayed clear, even at 5 years. Tremfya is proven to significantly reduce joint pain, stiffness, and swelling.
Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine.
Emerge as you with clear skin. Ask your doctor about Tremfya.
I forgot to wash my work shirt.
Just wear it again. I added Unstoppables with Overclock, and it keeps our clothes fresh all day.
Ooh, I'm gonna be feeling it at work today. She smells good. I'm actually paying attention. Smell unstoppable.
Get your best body and boost your confidence in just one visit to Sono Bello.
Why would they want to eat helper?
Cosmetic surgery specialist.
This summer, I'm excited to not be covered up.
I've got abs again. Sonobello put me in the right spot to just feel good again.
I feel beautiful. I went from this to this in just one visit.
I feel confident.
Micro laser technology permanently removes stubborn fat, tightens and tones skin in just one visit with less downtime.
My shirts were extra large. Now I'm wearing I'm wearing a bathing suit. It changed my life.
There's no more frustration, just permanent results.
My stomach is gone.
Sono Bello has over 50,000 five-star reviews and over 100 board-certified surgeons. Call now for your personalized consultation. That's over a $250 value. Free. Easy monthly payment options make your best body more affordable than ever. Take it to summer with confidence. Call Sono Bello today.
And it's another Shopping Day Live with bargains all for 50% off.
And 4th of July week continues. My gosh, I cannot believe we are celebrating 4th of July week. And yet, we are being robbed of all the days off we deserve, John. It continues with members of our studio audience. Listen to this. We're going to turn members of our studio audience against each other when they compete for cash in a 4th of July game. All right. Kevin.
Hello, hi.
From the football field to the bachelor mansion, and now he's in paradise. Paradise. Please welcome Jesse Palmer. Oh, good. You guys got the white jeans memo.
We got the memo this
Yeah,
morning.
okay.
Driving with an espresso in the car.
That's very bright.
Balancing act.
That's
It was,
super bright.
I love your new studio.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's cool, right? Yeah, it's really nice. Thanks, Johnny. Really nice. Let's talk football. Get into it. Are you now growing up? What was your team? Who did you root for?
I was a Chicago Bears fan growing up. Then I became a Giants fan once I got
How
there.
cool is that?
Right, makes it easy to choose a team.
Are you still a Giants fan? Is that your team?
Of course, yeah, it's been tough, Mark.
Yeah.
Years. It hasn't been easy.
Is that a
Yeah.
professional football team?
I've literally been here for 1 minute and 12 seconds.
Guys,
Mark's already taking shots.
it's funny guys can do that to each
So
other.
true to Who's your team?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
It really surprises me.
I moved to Tampa in 1986, I believe, so I suffered.
Okay, well, listen, I went to school in Florida. I used to go to Bucks games all the time when I was in college.
You
I
guys get
love
Starbucks
Bucks.
already?
Florida,
It's my favorite
the
strawberry.
Gators. And here's the thing about it, they're amazing fans, but there are a lot of bandwagon Bucks fans.
I'm not one of
Ever
them.
since Tom Brady and the Super Bowl.
No, I'm not one of
You're
them.
old school.
Yeah, he's
Vinny Testaverde.
Really?
Back then, yeah.
I gotta get you some gear for my clothing company, some Bucks gear.
Oh,
Yeah, from Jay Palmer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you want to throw in an
Hey, guys.
Eagles shirt for me, that would be great.
Are you an Eagles fan? Absolutely. We can do that for sure. Of course you are. Okay,
So
absolutely.
you said being drafted by the Giants was one of the best things that ever happened to you.
Yeah, it's funny. I think about this all the time. Life happens, and you have choices. You make a choice, and then your life kind of goes into two different directions, right? But the NFL draft is truly something that you have no control over. Whichever team drafts you, that's where you go live, and your life sort of charts its course that way. getting drafted in the city of New York
Yeah.
was so big for me because it let me tap into things that I was going to end up having so much passion for, whether it was food or culture. And I'm so lucky to have been chosen here. I almost got drafted by Kansas City twice. And it's amazing out there. And I don't play the woulda, coulda, shoulda game too often, but I do sometimes wonder what would have happened.
It's interesting because I think that when you are on a New York sports team, you get tough real quick.
You do.
It's different than going anywhere else because
The pressure,
newspapers here will rip you apart one day, and then if you have a good game, you're the hero of the universe. But then the next week, if it's a bad game, rip you apart again. There's no in between.
It's very true. You develop very thick skin here. We used to get booed by our fans after winning the game. So yes, you're absolutely right.
As an Eagles fan, I can relate to this totally.
Eagles fans booed Santa Claus,
They
didn't they?
booed Santa Claus and threw snowballs at him. But I it's just different.
You still throw?
I dust the wind
Getting
off
ready
from
to
time
go
to
into
time,
the
Mark.
base
But I
a
will
little
say,
more.
like, at my age now, throwing a few footballs,
You're
the old tater cup starts to kind of flare. But I still do.
So, did you play football
Before
as a kid?
Tyrone comes,
Yeah, growing up in Canada, from when I was 7 years old on, my dad was a pro football player in Canada, so I grew up really wanting to be like him, and he was my coach all the way until I got to college. So that was something I always
Well, you
wanted.
were a drama kid as well. You were the drama.
Yeah, so interesting question. Few people know this. So, Dad played pro football, had 2 brothers, lots of testosterone.
Yes.
My poor mom,
Yeah, she was like,
always trying to find something, right? So the one thing she always made sure of, though, she was going to have one thing that she put us in. She put me in drama camp every summer when I was a kid growing up, and I absolutely loved it.
so smart.
And I think now, like in my career, I am sure that absolutely helped me
Sure.
where I am today. I know at the time it really helped me with like public speaking back in elementary school and middle school, but it made me so much more comfortable talking in front of people and also not caring what people thought.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes you had to step outside your comfort zone and play a role. I took acting classes in college just because I really loved it. So thanks to Mom.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom. Hey, Mom, no.
Discover the power of Wegovy. Wegovy lost 35 pounds.
Some lost over 46 pounds.
And I'm keeping the weight off.
I'm reducing my risk. Wegovy is the only weight management medicine proven to reduce risk of major cardiovascular events such as death, heart attack, or stroke in adults with heart disease and obesity.
Don't take if you or your family had NTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are breastfeeding, pregnant, or plan to be. Stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or any of these allergic reactions. Serious side effects may include pancreas inflammation and gallbladder or severe stomach problems. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Wegovy may cause low blood sugar in people with diabetes, especially if you take medicines for it. Call your prescriber if you experience vision changes, heart racing at rest, or any mental changes. Depression or thoughts of suicide may occur. Side effects of nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
With Wegovy,
I'm losing weight.
I'm carrying it out.
And I'm lowering my CV risk.
Ask your prescriber about Wegovy.
So which would you recommend?
Do you like brown?
Yeah, some things are just better at home. With Empire's Home Floor Advantage, you can compare samples in your own space.
Call or visit EmpireToday.com and get the home floor advantage.
Today.
Most important thing for us that separates us, service. Service. We're going to say please. We're going to say thank you. We're going to take pictures before. The guys are going to show up in uniform. Our people, not subcontractors, in a truck. Put down the carpet. When they're done, we're going to ask to take a picture with you so you know you're happy. But we're here to say please and thank you and take care of our guests. That's what makes us special.
Thanks for listening.
I was out riding my bike when someone ran the stop sign and hit me. The accident was devastating. I was left with a broken collarbone and more than $38,000 on medical bills. Hospital sales luck. They fought for me every step of the way. and got me a fast settlement of $250,000.
Call Staines Law, 777-7777. Stay ahead of monsoon storms with KN 9's first warning weather.
As you know, this is an all-new Bachelor in Paradise. Now, there are some things that we can never change. I don't even know if you could call this paradise without your favorite bartender, Wilson's here.
There he is. I got some good news for everybody. The pool bar is officially open.
Oh, yeah. It was very nice. Yeah, we're in Costa Rica. It's a whole new backdrop now. Yeah, you got the beach, you got the jungle.
Do you get to play a little bit when you're there? Do you get to go around and have some fun? Or I know you're working, but
I was eating a lot, yes. I was eating a lot. From the football at time to time, but I had my hands full.
Do you live in a house too with all the kids?
I had a separate dwelling, but I think I had like 12 different iguanas living on my roof.
Oh,
Like Godzilla was on my front lawn. It's amazing. If you've never been to Costa Rica, you got to go to see the animals. We had wild horses on the beaches. We're getting woken up every morning by howler monkeys. A 3-pound frog fell out of the sky onto my lap during shooting.
Wow.
It was incredible. Yeah, it's amazing. If nothing else,
you fix the frog.
No, don't lick the frog.
I actually was told in Costa Rica there are trees that you can't actually touch because they're poisonous.
Yeah.
So of course I leaned on one during the photo shoot.
Of course you did.
That was a rookie mistake.
Did you get like little blisters?
I had fire ants, I think, running in my back during the ABC promo shoot, by the way. So yes, but I'm making a weird face.
So what's happening this new season?
A lot of new. So we talked about Costa Rica. The Golden Cast is joining on the beach this year as well. So that's really big. It's so right. It's so right for so many reasons. And so they're obviously very deserving of having another shot at finding love too. But I was in the young cast's ear the entire time explaining them, you've got to pick their brains. They've had so much life. They've had so much experience. You need to get into their psyche.
Yeah, that's my fear. It's like, what's going to happen? Are they gonna? Is there going to be?
So here's what I told them.
Am I going to be more weirded out than I normally am?
This is what I said. I said, listen. Obviously, we've got 2 generations sharing the beach at the same time. I can't tell anybody who you can love and who you can't. But I encourage everybody to stay in their generational lane. And above all else,
how'd that go?
Don't make it weird. Just don't make it weird. That was the biggest thing. Now,
it's going to be so weird.
I'm going to say it didn't happen. You're going to have to tune in and watch. But, that was kind of how we struck it. Always great to see you, Justin. Bachelor in Paradise premieres this Monday on July 7th on ABC and streams on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. Next, Maria Rios.
Tomorrow on Live, Nicholas Holt.
David Muir, the most watched newscast in America. And now, ABC's World News Tonight has won the Emmy for Best Live News Program for the 3rd year in a row.
Growing up in Douglas, I really felt sometimes our stories weren't being told.
Yeah.
I love that we really
got that
cover
heart-shaped
the
feeling.
entire market and make sure that stories are told all across the Southern Arizona. I'm Madison Thomas, your KN 9 Marana reporter.
Hi, I'm Alan Murdoch. For the past 20 years, I've been buying, fixing, and selling properties right here in Southern Arizona. And I want to buy your property. Whether it's a house, apartment, commercial building, or vacant land, regardless of the condition or the situation, I want to talk to you. When you sell to me, I pay cash and it's hassle-free. No repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. If you have a property you don't want to deal with and you want a quick solution, call, text, or visit selltalon.com. Again, that's selltalon.com.
The awe and power of the Arizona monsoon. Mother Nature's fury takes flight on the mighty desert stage. The unrelenting heat, piercing wind, walls of dust, and a stunning display of lightning illuminating our skies. In the distance, the threats. Billowing clouds, heavy and dark. Rain drenching our sun-filled desert. And it all
Hi, guys.
happens in the place we call home.